And welcome back to Game Escape. You know, sometimes the simplest ideas in video games are actually the most enjoyable, and simplicity is really the essence of Columns, a 1990 release for the Sega Genesis. Now, this was Sega's answer to Nintendo's incredibly popular Tetris series, which at this point had been released on the NES and the Game Boy, and it was really Tetris' success on the Game Boy that I think prompted Sega to find an alternative of their own. They had actually, I believe, released a version of Tetris on the Sega Mega Drive in Japan, but they were sued, I think, pretty instantaneously by Nintendo, so they had to come up with their own product, and that gave rise to Columns. Now, I actually remember picking up, or actually playing Columns on the Sega Game Gear, which was released in '91, and this was the pack-in game, and it was really my first introduction to the puzzle game genre. I'd actually got a Game Gear first before I got the Nintendo Game Boy, so this was really my first memory of playing that system, and it really is a simple game, but it can be incredibly fun and incredibly challenging. Now, the idea here is pretty straightforward. You want to create rows of colored gems, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, and when you do that, you will eliminate the gems, and the rest of the gems will fall as if under the weight of gravity, and you can actually chain together multiple clears of rows. And that is really what you want to aim for. The more you do that, the more successful you will be, certainly at the higher levels. Now, you can start at either the low, medium, or high setting, and if you start at the low setting, the goal is to work your way through as many levels as you can and really see where you leave off, where does it become too difficult for you, and then on each subsequent playthrough you try to beat that, beat your own performance. And I think that's the addicting quality to it. You always want to see exactly how far you can go and actually train yourself to go farther and farther in the game, which I highly recommend doing, because if you start at the medium or high level, you are going to be under incredible pressure pretty quickly at those levels. And it's kind of hard to see here on the video, but these blocks just plunge to the bottom of the screen, and you really have to react quickly. Back in the day, I could react quickly enough and get all the way from the easiest setting to, I think, hard, which was maybe for me level 15. Today, though, it is a new challenge. I picked up this game for about $2 on eBay, and been playing it for the past couple of days, and I still find myself hitting a wall at level 7 or level 8. So the challenge is definitely here, and it is certainly a challenge worth taking. Though sadly, it's a challenge I've never taken with a second player. As you can see, there is an option for a second player to join, and you can play competitively. I've never done it, but if you have, leave a comment below. I'd be curious to see what Columns is like in a local multiplayer setting. Now, obviously, Columns wasn't as celebrated globally as Tetris, and Tetris is going to be the game that I think generations of gamers will remember, and that gaming historians will look back on and say that was really a hallmark moment in home and portable gaming. But Sega had the right idea here. How do you compete with something as successful as Tetris? Well, you do it with bold colors, and I think what at the time was a little bit more accessible gameplay mechanic. I certainly remember having played Tetris in the arcades. I got this home and I said, wow, this is a Tetris-style game, but I'm having some more success with it. You can find this on the Nintendo Wii Virtual Console. There have been other releases for Sega platforms. There were one or two Sega Saturn releases. There may have even been a Dreamcast release, but probably the Virtual Console is the way to go. And I would recommend this game. It holds up well. I mean, yeah, it's a little old, but I think it's a classic example of how simple concepts can really make great games. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Game Escape.